What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound, where we breaking down the NHL action going down on Saturday, April 5th, 2025. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily $15 best bet, head to Pickdawgz.com. Click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. It's a great time to do so because we have a lot of action lined up on Saturday's card. We've got an MLB pickoff play, which we cashed with yesterday. Got an MLB 3-pack. Going to have an NHL 3-pack. Some basketball on the board with the college basketball crown and the Final Four. So make sure that you jump on board. Remember to use that promo code PICK at checkout for 15% off your purchase. But we're here to talk about the 13-game NHL card on Saturday. Lots of money to be made on the ice. So let's not wait any longer. You guys know the drill. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game comes to us from the Prudential Center, where the New Jersey Devils take on the New York Rangers. And this is a huge game for the New York Rangers, who are still trying to keep themselves in the playoff race in the Eastern Conference. And I would definitely make sure that you check the goalie report closer to puck drop, just to make sure that it is Igor Shesterkin getting the start here. Because if it's Jonathan Quick, I don't have as great a feeling about it, but I am going to lean towards the Rangers here. I just think that you see this desperation from this veteran Rangers group that's right now on the outside looking in. They don't have a game in hand on Montreal right now, and they're just trying to make sure they keep pace. Montreal's going to have some tough tests down the stretch, and the Rangers, like I said, when you have a world-class goaltender like Igor Shesterkin, can always steal a game for you on any given night. I still don't love this goaltending tandem, this goaltending situation in New Jersey right now, so I'm going to lean towards the Rangers on the money line to pick up a much-needed win here. Now we head to the Canadian Tire Center for this matchup between the Ottawa Senators and the Florida Panthers. And I get why the Panthers would be favored on the road in this spot. I mean, Florida is still trying to, get to the top of the Atlantic Division, or at least try to get home ice for the first round of the playoffs. But the Ottawa Senators are still just trying to make sure they solidify a playoff spot. They're at home where they play their better hockey. The home team has won both meetings this season. And right now, Florida's in a little bit of a stumble. They've lost 3 straight. They've lost back-to-back 3-2 games on the road against Toronto and Montreal, teams that they could potentially see down the road in the playoffs. So for me, the Ottawa Senators, like I said, it's usually the battle of the Kachuk brothers, but I think that the Senators get the job done in this one. I said you're getting a decent price with them as a home dog. I'll take a shot here with the Senators on the money line. Now we head to the American Airlines Center for a matchup between the Dallas Stars and the Pittsburgh Penguins. For me, it's simple in this one. I'm rolling with Dallas Stars in regulation on the puck line in this one. The Pittsburgh Penguins just continue to be one of the more disappointing and frustrating teams to back. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Mathematically, they're not out of the playoffs yet, but they have a lot of work to do, and they would need a lot of things to happen. And to be honest, even if a lot of things did happen, I don't trust the Penguins to help themselves enough to be able to take advantage of those situations in the odd event that they were to happen. The Dallas Stars, 28-7-2 at home this season. They've won 7 straight, and 5 of their last 6 wins have come by 2 or more goals. Over the course of this win streak, they're outscoring their opponents by a combined score of 28 to, do some quick math here, 28 to 10. So I just think this is another puck line victory for the Dallas Stars in this one. Give me the Dallas Stars in regulation and on the puck line. Now we head to this matchup between the Los Angeles Kings and the Edmonton Oilers from the Crypto.com arena. And I'm going to roll with the Los Angeles Kings in this one big. I mean, it's hard enough for the Edmonton Oilers to try to win games without Connor McDavid, but now Leon Draisaitl is on the shelf as well. It looks like he's out for this game with an injury. And the Los Angeles Kings, I said it, some people called me crazy, but they have a chance to catch the Vegas Golden Knights at the top of the division because, like I said, they are one of the best, if not the best, home team in the NHL this season. The rest of their schedule is backloaded with home games, and that includes down the stretch. I mean, this is a team with 7 games to go, and including this one, and 5 of those are going to be at home. So for me, I gotta roll with the Los Angeles Kings. Who are, like I said, are just really, the Oilers are banged up right now, and the Golden Knights are stumbling. I think the Kings smell blood in the water, and they could climb to the top of the division here. So give me the Los Angeles Kings to win this one in regulation and on the puck line. Now we head to this matchup between the Vancouver Canucks and the Anaheim Ducks from the Rogers Arena. And, normally for me, I could at least lean a little bit more towards the favorite or the team that has more motivation in a matchup against a team that's already out of the playoffs, because you never really know what the motivation is for a team like Anaheim. But the thing is, Anaheim has been money in terms of covering as the underdog against the spread this season. In terms of on the puck line, they're 51 and 24 on the puck line this season. And, for me, the Vancouver Canucks still are not a great home team. They're 15, 14, and 7 at home this season, 15 and 21 basically. They've lost 3 straight. This is a team that's 8 point out of the playoffs with 2 games in hand on the Wild, who hold the second wild card spot, but 8 points back and with 7 games to go. Like in the Canucks' chances, I understand that you could potentially see the sense of desperation from the Canucks in this game, but the Anaheim Ducks look like a team that's interested in playing spoiler, a team that's not used to having sort of this level of success, over at least over the last couple of years. It's a young team that's feisty. I'm gonna go with the Ducks here, plus 1.5, and I'll put a little bit on Ducks money line as well. Now we head to this matchup between the St. Louis Blues and the Colorado Avalanche from the Enterprise Center. And for me, it is very tough to go against a team that's won 11 games in a row like the St. Louis Blues have. But I think this is a game where the line is very, very telling that the Avalanche are favored on the road in this spot. And if it's one of those things where it's just like a trappy line, then all of a sudden it's just like they're trying to, sway people into thinking that it's the Avalanche and it ends up being the Blues, well, so be it. But I said, this is just like, for me, this line just jumps off the page. And like I said, it's tempting to take the St. Louis Blues as a home dog. And I know the St. Louis Blues have sort of been disrespected in the market during this little winning run. Like, it's almost like it just feels too good to be true. People are waiting for the other shoe to drop. But the Avalanche are playing some really solid hockey in their own right now. They're third in the Central Division, almost locked into that 3 spot to play at Dallas or Winnipeg in the first round. But they're 7-2-1 in their last 10. They're still a respectable 22-15-1 on the road. And I think that they can go on the road and potentially get the job done here. So for me, it's a lean, but I'm going to lean towards the Avalanche on the money line in this one. Next, we're heading to the Bell Center for this matchup between the Montreal Canadiens and the Philadelphia Flyers. And this is a matchup where I'm simply going to take the motivated team against the team with nothing to play for here, as the Philadelphia Flyers just on the outside looking in. Mathematically, they're not out of it yet, but I still can't get there with Philadelphia in their current form. I mean, yeah, they've won 3 straight, but all those games were at home. You look at their recent road trip they were just on, they lost all 5 games, scored 2 goals or less in all those games as well. Montreal has been a much stronger team at home compared to their mark away from the Bell Center this season. So I'm going to take the Montreal Canadiens to win this game. If you don't like the money line price of minus 169, you could take them to win this one in regulation. Get it around minus 105 or even money. But I'm going to take Montreal in this one. Now we head to the Delta Center for a matchup between the Utah Hockey Club and the Winnipeg Jets. And another matchup where, to me, I have to roll with what I know with this Winnipeg Jets team, and that's that the fact is they are one of the most consistent teams home and away in the NHL this season. They're fantastic at home, 28-6-4, but they're also really good on the road at 24-14. The Utah Hockey Club, has not been as stellar at home, 16-15-7, compared to a near 500 mark on the road at 18-15-5. And Winnipeg, even though the home team has won all 3 meetings this season, I just think Winnipeg is the far better team in this matchup that's still trying to chase the President's Trophy, still trying to keep space between them and the Dallas Stars for the Central Division title. So I'm going to roll with the Winnipeg Jets on the money line of this one at a reasonable price. Now we head to the Scotiabank Arena for a match between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have not had luck against Columbus this season. They dropped both meetings by a combined score of 11-3. But the thing is that the Columbus Blue Jackets, yeah, they won the most recent meeting in Toronto, and Columbus on the road this season has not been very good. But Columbus is struggling with consistency right now. They've alternated wins and losses in each of their last 4 games. They've dropped 7 of their last 10. Toronto in great form right now. They've won 7 of their last 9 games. This team can be very, very streaky, but they're playing great defense. The goaltending is stepping up. They've allowed 2 goals or less in 4 of their last 5 games and in 6 of their last 9. I think the Maple Leafs get the job done here. They are still trying to keep space between themselves and Florida and Tampa Bay for the Atlantic Division title. So give me the Toronto Maple Leafs to win this one in regulation and lean. Speaking of the Lightning pay a visit to the KeyBank Arena to take on the Buffalo Sabres. And it's weird. The Buffalo Sabres eliminated from playoff contention. It was all of a sudden like the weight was lifted, and they're like, oh, well, we can actually start winning games now. I mean, they won, back-to-back games, 5 of their last 6, including home wins over Pittsburgh and Ottawa, and they've won 7 of their last 10 games. But even though Tampa Bay has not been as strong on the road this season, they've still only split their last 6 road games. I still think they're the better team here. And again, we mentioned the motivation left and right. Even though Buffalo at times seems content with, at this point in the year playing spoiler, I mean, they beat Tampa Bay in the final game of the regular season last year. I think this is just a spot where, the Tampa Bay Lightning get the job done on the road. I think, like I said, the Tampa Bay Lightning just heads and shoulders the better team here. And even though, they do have an upcoming game against New York Rangers, which is big for both teams' playoff implications, I just think you got to focus on what's ahead. And the Tampa Bay Lightning should be able to get the job done here. So I'm going to lean towards the Lightning to win this one in regulation. Now we head to the TD Garden for this matchup between the Boston Bruins and the Carolina Hurricanes. And again, you want to talk about motivation versus none. I mean, right now, the Carolina Hurricanes are almost locked into that 2 seed in the Metropolitan Division to be able to host likely the New Jersey Devils. But the thing is, the Carolina Hurricanes could still mathematically catch the Washington Capitals if Washington just biffed it the rest of the way and just fell apart. And they're also trying to make sure they don't get caught by the New Jersey Devils. So to lock at least something up, I think that they'll still show up in this game. But for me, mostly this is a fate of the Boston Bruins. They've now lost 10 games in a row. It's just the sky is falling in Boston. The fans are not happy. And if you had told me coming into the season that the Boston Bruins would be at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, I might have thought you were crazy and need to be, admitted. But it is what it is. This team is just, like I said, they've mailed it in. This team looks like they've quit. And I got to roll with the Carolina Hurricanes to win this one in regulation and on the puck line in this one. Now we head to San Jose to the SAP Center for the matchup between the Sharks and the Seattle Kraken. And, 2 teams that have been eliminated from postseason contention in the Western Conference. And that just leads me to take a shot here on the dog. I'm going to take a shot on the Seattle Kraken. Don't get me wrong, Seattle has still been able to win games here and there, but they're less effective on the road this season, even though they did just beat Vancouver 5-0. Prior to that, they had lost 3 straight where they had given up at least 4 goals to Calgary, Edmonton, Minnesota. I know San Jose is still one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. Actually, they are the worst team in the NHL from a record perspective. But this team has been able to pull out the surprise in some spots, maybe when you least expect it. And with the San Jose Sharks season winding down, I think that this team is just going to try to have their young core have some taste of success to build on something going into next year. So I'm going to lean towards the Sharks here, plus 1.5 and on the money line. And our final game from Saturday's card takes us to the Scotiabank Saddledome, where the Calgary Flames take on the Vegas Golden Knights. And, I just think that this is a spot where I want to take the Flames plus the 1.5, because the Vegas Golden Knights have stumbled in their last couple games. Sure, Vegas has won both meetings this season by a combined score of 8-0, but both those games were in Vegas, where Vegas has been far more effective. They're 27-9-3 at home, but just 18-13-5. They're 500 on the road this season. Now, granted, the Vegas Golden Knights swept their recent road trip where they beat Minnesota, Chicago, and Nashville. But Calgary, 20-12-5 at home, far better at the Saddle Dome this season. They have had issues with consistency as of late, alternating wins and losses in 4 in a row. But the Calgary Flames are trying to keep pace with the Minnesota Wild with 2 games in hand for that final wild card spot in the Western Conference. They win both their games in hand. They're only 1 point back of the Wild, who have definitely been very shaky down the stretch. The Vegas Golden Knights are trying to hold off the Los Angeles Kings, like I mentioned earlier, for the Pacific Division title. So I think that's why you do see Vegas show up here. But I could easily see a 4-3 game. I could see a game that maybe needs overtime here. So I'm going to lean towards the Flames plus 1.5 to round out the card on Saturday. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Saturday, April 5th, 2025. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button, and also make sure you let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at pickdawgz.com by clicking the premium picks tab at the top of the page. And remember to use that promo code PICK at checkout for 15% off your purchase. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys soon.